What's up guys, welcome back to Nicole Knows Life. I'm Nicole and welcome if you are new. If you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me because you don't want to miss out on all the content that I'll be bringing to you. Okay, so if you are new, you may not know this, but I am currently, my husband and I, we are currently on the hunt for our very first home so we can become first-time homeowners. We currently live in the Phoenix, Arizona area, outside of Phoenix, but that's like the biggest city close to us. Anyways, I've been getting comments on my house hunting videos about a lot of different things when it comes to searching for a house here in Arizona, and I kind of want to address that. One thing that I've noticed that people are following onto my videos, they don't live here yet and they're looking to live here. So as you can tell by the title, I am giving you some tips on what I wish we knew before moving to Arizona and what I want you to know before moving to Arizona. Buying a house really means that you want to settle. I am not from Arizona, but I love it. I love living here. It's close to LA, so it's close to another big city. Well, Phoenix is close to another big city. So I love that. I love having that access, and especially hoping that if my influencer career does kick off, I can become an influencer and go to events in LA. So it's just accessibility for me. Also, it's very family oriented, which is another reason why we've decided that we're gonna plant our roots here, let our daughter grow up here, and just, you know, become Arizonians. There was a lot we did not know prior to moving to Arizona, and I feel like I wanted to share some things that you should know before making that big decision, because just because the state looks beautiful, it may not be for you. And a disclaimer here, I am only speaking from my own experience. I've only been here for 2 years. Like I said, I live in the Phoenix, Arizona area, so I've only been to the cities surrounding Phoenix, like Scottsdale, Gilbert, Mesa, Chandler, Tempe, Maricopa, which is where I reside. I have yet to be able to explore places like Flagstaff. See, I'm spazzing out because I haven't visited those places yet. As far as I've gone is the Grand Canyon, which you definitely should visit. Very, very beautiful. Regardless if you're moving here or not, you should definitely visit. So here are some of the things that you should know before moving to Arizona. First things first, save money. It doesn't matter if you're moving, what state you're moving to, really. So if you're moving state from state, you need to save money because you need money to establish yourself, especially if you don't have a job lined up. Luckily for me, my husband works with the post office, so his job was already in place. It was just a transfer. For him, I did not have a job lined up. I was in the interviewing process, but I did not have a job lined up. You need to save money regardless, because if you are renting, you're going to need deposits, your first month's rent. You're going to need furniture if you decide you don't want to bring your furniture, which when we move out of my parents' house, we'll only have a select few items of furniture. We'll have to start completely fresh. Also, I suggest you research the areas. Research like which area you want to live in, what the affordability, because the pricing points, which I will go into a little bit deeper in another video after this one, but the pricing points on houses really does vary per city. But again, I will dive deeper into that in another video. So like I said, if you haven't subscribed, you might want to subscribe now so you don't miss out. One more thing that I wish we knew outside of researching the cities and researching where we wanted to plant our feet and saving money is the heat. The heat can be unbearable in the summers. This weekend is supposed to reach up to 116 degrees. So if that is something you're not wanting to be in, I would suggest that you would second guess like if this is the right place for me, because living in the valley where Phoenix is, it can top obviously 110 plus degrees in the summer. Now we'll say the winters are amazing, but just something to think about, because I know a lot of people say, oh, we're looking for somewhere warm to live in. Warm here is very different than warm in Florida. Let me just say that, because I lived in Florida, and it was very different. It's very different. It's a different climate, so just be aware of that. Now, things that are important to note about the areas. Most areas or most cities surrounding Phoenix that I have looked at houses for or have just, driven through, it's very family oriented. Which is a good thing, because I feel like things are different for me if I decided to move to New York. I had a dream of moving to New York City. Now, would I want my daughter to grow up smack dab in a city like that? Probably not. But would I want her to grow up still in a big city, but a slower pace? Definitely, because I want her to have those experiences. And Phoenix is just that. It's very family oriented. There's so much to do here, whether you're going on a date with just your spouse or your partner, or if you're just taking the whole family, there's a lot to do. So I think it has that great mix, and it's not just, like I said, if you were thinking about a city like New York City and you're like, don't want to plant roots there. I mean, you might and you can, but it's way more expensive and less space. Family oriented, which is a plus, especially if you are wanting a family or if you already have a family and you want to just find and settle your roots. I would say yes to that. So I know people are like, okay, well, Phoenix is a big city. Is it affordable? It is definitely affordable. Prior to living in Arizona, I lived in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. It was, about the same as Kentucky. I think I wasn't making a lot of money in Florida, but I was able to live and save and have money to spend. Here, I haven't lived on my own just yet because I've been living with my parents. However, gas is not as expensive as it is if you go next door to LA. It is a little bit more expensive than the East Coast, like Kentucky and Florida. And I only use those examples because those are the two states that I lived in. And as you know, like Kentucky is very, very small. So this is like a huge comparison. I will say taxes are a little bit more. I think in Kentucky, when I left, it was like 6%. Now in taxes here, like 9%. It sounds like a lot, but the one good thing is whatever, wherever your job is, you're pretty much matching the cost of living. Groceries to me are pretty much the same. Me and my mom have noticed that they do tax food here, which I don't know if we were looking at the receipt right or not, but I feel like my grocery bill is just pretty much gonna be the same no matter what, no matter where I go. But again, I don't feel like when we leave my parents' house, we're going to be hurting. We don't make buku money, but we definitely make enough. And I feel like when if my parents were to say get out today, like we would be okay. We would definitely be okay. So it's affordable. And like I said, I'm 27, my husband's 27, so we're pretty young. We're like entry level, I guess, in our careers. So it's not like we're making buku money. So definitely affordable for the middle class is what I should say. Housing, again, I'm not gonna go too much in depth into the cost of housing in this video because I do have a video planned for that, but I do want to note again that depending on the city, depending on the area and the type of home you want, the pricing will vary. So will rent, but we will dive into that in another video. Education. So if you are a parent, this is something that you probably want to tune into. Education is great here. So from what I've heard, Luna actually has been going to a school hybrid daycare, and she's learned a lot. She will be in preschool when I send her back, but she's learned a lot. They have a lot of options when it comes to schooling, which I like because coming from Kentucky, there were not a lot of options. You have classes here that you can do, equestrian classes. You have bilingual schools where if you want your child to learn Spanish, they can go to school and learn Spanish and literally speak Spanish, throughout their day. All kind of options. So that is a plus, especially for family living if you want to have kids or if you have kids and you're thinking about that. So that is something you should know about, from a family perspective. I will say on the flip side of things, one of the downfalls that you should know about is that there are not a lot of job options. When I lived in Louisville, We have Ford, GE, UPS, but here there's not like a lot of job options, because when I was doing my job hunt, there was, you know, the news stations, but when I decided to leave news, I realized that there were not a lot of transitional jobs like social media, which I was quite surprised because Phoenix is a big city, so I was thinking, oh, there's gotta be like hotels that need social media, you know, event spots. I guess I assumed. Also, like when my brother was looking, because he's still in college, so he was still looking for like, you know, good paying part-time. There's not a lot of factories here, so to me that means there's not a lot of jobs, but there's plenty of grocery stores and, you know, stuff like that. So I guess it really depends on what you're looking for. Downtown Phoenix is not that big, so it's like, it's not the corporate area that you would expect. I don't know, again, because like I said, I was looking for a transitional job. So if you're looking for a big city feel, you're not gonna find it in Phoenix. It doesn't have that New York essence. It does kind of have that LA essence, but it's still a lot slower than the two of them. However, it does have that big city traffic, so it definitely has LA type traffic. It hasn't had that kind of traffic lately, you know, due to COVID and everybody pretty much staying home and everything being closed. But if you're looking for a big city feel, you will get like maybe in the middle of it. Like I said, it kind of feels like that in what LA feels like, but it definitely doesn't have a New York, Chicago type of feel. And I've never been to Chicago, but New York is like the biggest city I've been to, and it doesn't have that type of feel. And last but not least, speaking of traffic, expect to drive at least 30 minutes to your next destination. Depending on the area you choose to live in, you will most likely have to drive 30 minutes to go see your friend. I live in Maricopa, so it takes me about 30 minutes just to get into Phoenix. My brother lives in Peoria, and that's an hour drive from Maricopa. So it's like, it's not a road trip, but it's a road trip. So just expect to drive, because everything's pretty spread out. So if you are like me and you don't like driving, you might not like that. However, on the flip side, you should pick a city that you feel like, or an area that you feel like has everything you need, where you wouldn't need to travel. But if you want to go, like, we have that indoor skydiving. If you want to go there and you don't live in Scottsdale, then you're just gonna have to drive there. So it's like, the drives are worth it, but if you don't like driving, I wouldn't suggest, you know, moving too far out, or, you know, just being aware of that, because you just gotta drive far. No matter where you go, it's like my husband, he works 15 minutes away from the house, and that's because we used to live really, really close to where he works. But now when we moved, it's like, oh, sorry, you know, you gotta drive an hour. So that, you know, it sucks. But I hope this was a helpful video. If you have any more questions, of course, leave them in the comments below and I will try to answer them. I do plan on diving into more videos, and not just around housing, but talking to you guys about some local spots you should try and just taking you on those adventures with me. So if you want to see some of that stuff, hit that subscribe button, join my community, help me out, give this video a big thumbs up, help me grow here so I can continue to make content for you guys, and I will see you guys really, really soon.